up?
What's up?
We're doing it. You're in the podcast now.
I'm here.
Welcome to your first podcast.
Very excited to be here.
How's it feel?
Feels like heaven.
Feels like heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
It doesn't feel like that for me.
I have a really weird view of what heaven is, I guess.
What's heaven to you?
This. Being here at this podcast.
Well, I'm honored.
You should be.
How was
kidding.
your first game of darts?
It was very exciting. I did some math. Pretty exciting to do that. Through some things.
A lot of firsts tonight for you.
Truly, yeah. First podcast, first dart game.
And you won your first game.
We won.
Well, we won.
Yeah. Team Dart Masters.
Master of Darts.
Master of Darts. Yeah. Good team.
The other team that we were playing,
They were close, but no cigar.
they were close. Yeah, but no cigar. I wanted our team name to be Master of Puppies, because what was your team name, Sid?
Puppy Lords?
Puppy Lords. They were Puppy Lords, so
Master of Puppies would have been a good
Master of Puppies.
Metallica reference.
Yeah. I don't really like Metallica.
I don't either, but I know that.
it's
I
not
know
my
that's their
thing.
album.
8,000 million people in the world just like cringed because
Yeah.
I said I don't like Metallica.
I mean, I'm not opposed to them. I like some of their songs, but I don't like all of them.
I liked them in junior high,
Yeah.
and then I grew up.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't grow up with them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they were always playing on the radio and stuff, but I don't know.
What kind of music did you grow up listening to?
Ooh, everything. I'm all over the place. I was very pop, very old school, very new school, everything from Britney Spears to No Doubt.
No doubt.
To those are my queens, like Britney, Gwen, Christina, Avril, and then I
Pop
love old
icons.
Yeah,
of
those
the
are my
early
pop
2000s.
Yeah, I live for that. And then also oldies, I love the Beach Boys, the Doors, Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of all over the place. Whole Nirvana.
How'd you get into that sort of stuff? Was it your parents?
Parents, yeah. They were always playing the CDs when I was little and making me listen to that in the car. So I just grew to love it, and I did.
Nice. Were they both cool ones, or was one of your parents the music one?
They both love music, just different kinds. And my mom would always be playing Selena and Santana.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause your mom's...
She's Hispanic, yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up, that was her side. And then my dad is more into the blues and rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. That's sad stuff.
Yeah.
That's sad stuff.
The edgy stuff.
The edgy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Edgy.
My parents were really into music. Well, my dad played in bands and stuff. But my mom, not as much. She liked the Beatles.
Yeah.
And that was her cool thing.
We love the Beatles in my house. We have a giant freaking Beatles poster in my living room. We have a coffee table book of the Beatles with their...
What's the poster of?
It's a black and white picture. It's probably 64 Beatles, the Beatle short bangs do with the black suit and tie, and they're all walking down the street, and Paul's in the middle, and he's
A Hard Day's Night era, kind of?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it. I can't believe it. My auntie, she says she doesn't care for the Beatles. And I'm like, you're going to burn in hell.
Yeah. I mean, John Lennon's not a good person, but the other ones, they did it. They may have good songs.
Think about the person he hitched up with, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
I mean, it says a lot. Yeah. It says a lot about you if that's who you pick as a partner.
Yeah.
But I was reading this book titled Laurel Canyon, and it was about Laurel Canyon.
Sick. Hippie.
And yeah. And there was this back then they were called waitresses, now they're called servers. But this waitress at the Rainbow Room, and John Lennon would come in, and she said he was just a fucking asshole. He would come in and get super drunk and yell and say shit like, do you know who the fuck I am? That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Bye.
And at the time, Jim Morrison was going there. Mamas and Papas were going there. Lots of people were going there. But John Lennon was a different breed.
Man.
It's a very different look at the whole peace and love guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who he was. But that's not who anybody is completely.
Yeah.
I'm a bad guy sometimes.
I can be a bad guy too.
Yeah. Anybody can be a bad guy.
Yeah. But I like to be a good guy.
But with all the fame and the money and the alcohol and the drugs that were going around.
I was the 60s, man.
It's
Everyone
like
was too lit.
I understand the way he was acting. Not very cool though.
No, not cool. Not cool in my book.
So you have a good amount of followers.
I try.
You try. When did that happen? Because there's always usually like a boom.
The boom happened honestly with my band's first album. The Stoked on You album came out in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2014 it was re-released through Burger Records, and yeah, we were playing like a lot of big festivals. Like,
what year was this?
2014. And yeah, I was doing like Volcom stuff and like American Apparel modeling, like random stuff like that. And that's how like the following started to grow, was around that time, and it's sustained and like grown like since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Burger putting out or re-releasing it, or did you have traction on that before Burger put it out? Because Burger must have noticed it.
Well, I met with Burger in 2012 because I would intern for them, and I would like ride my scooter over every day in between classes because I was at Cal State Fullerton. So I would ride my scooter from Cal State all the way to Burger, and then like when I had a 2-hour gap, I would like vacuum for them and like fold their tapes and like help them. And then I was like, I have this band and we're awesome. You're going to love us. Like, here's that CD. And then they ended up putting out our We Are Free EP back. They did a cassette in like 2013. So that's how we got connected with them. And then I was still like doing self-release stuff like on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. And then they like knew about the album and everything. But it just took a little longer for them to get the vinyl and stuff made. So that's why it was a year later.
It's pretty cool, man. This shows dedication. You're like, I'm going to go down there, do whatever needs to be done, put in that elbow grease, vacuum some floors.
Elbow grease,
show them that
grease.
I care.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what are you doing later, Melissa? Oh, you know me, going down to Burger. Just doing whatever. Well, I mean, okay, so you have a much bigger following than I have. You have about 30,000 at this date and time. And I have about 6,000.
Not bad, not too shabby.
Not bad, not too shabby. Somebody at
shabby.
Burger, some customer in there was like, "Oh yeah, I play bass for this one." He was just chatting me up, and he was like, "You got an Instagram? You should follow us." I was like, "For sure." And he's like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "The Psychic Wave." And then he types it in, and he goes, oh, "You got clout." And I was like, "No, I do not, dude. What are you talking about?"
I hate that word.
I do too.
It
but
makes me mad.
my point to it was that this guy came up to me, and or people come up to me in general, and they're like, "So how do you like get your in? How do you get a foot in the door and get things going?" And it's always different stories. Like you were vacuuming and interning for Burger, and I was bored, and I decided I have music equipment. Why not talk to bands?
Yeah.
You just gotta like make the effort. Most of the time, it was me going out to shows and buying beers for bands that I thought were really good. Like,
that's pretty sick.
Small time stuff. And
you got me some beers. I'm pretty stoked.
I did. Tecate, 18 for $14.
I'm 3 beers deep, so if I say funny things, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom.
That's a perfect amount of beer to start a podcast.
I agree.
When you got here, things were a little.
Brrr.
Just like, we were in our different worlds.
I'm pretty awkward, so.
I was dealing with some stuff too. And then we have a beer, and a beer warms you up.
Yeah, get a little warm in the tummy.
And then 2 beers.
2 beers, you're getting a little warm in the heart.
A little warm in the heart. This is totally off subject, but I was thinking of the word warm. And you can spell out warm by using all words. double U YOU RAREM AM. You kind of got to stretch for the M.
Ooh.
But WARM.
You're not wrong. You're so right. Whoa. Okay.
We're not high. It sounded like a high thought. I'm not high. But anyway, my point that I was trying to get back to is that, like, you know, it's pretty cool how people like get their start.
Mm-hmm.
Your start was vacuuming
Yeah.
at Burger,
Mm-hmm.
and just having the balls to put yourself out there.
Oh,
That's
I have big balls in there, all for
big
music.
balls.
Yeah.
And that's like when somebody asks me, "What do you do to get your foot in the door?" You kind of just gotta like take chances.
You got to do it. You just got to go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
So I got a few questions on my Instagram, and people were like, "Ask Melissa." Oh, I think this was your question, Sid. Or I don't know. There were a few that were like,
Oh, there's Instagram questions? I'm excited.
yeah, let me pull up these questions for you. So a few people called in, and they were like, or not called in. Oh my God, I sound so old school. Like I'm doing a call-in show.
Old school radio show.
Yeah. And sorry, we can't hear you. We know you're saying words over there, Sid.
Sydney at Butte Geek is in the corner on the chair, and Wabi Sabi is also on the chair in the corner. Go follow them.
On the couch.
Yeah. Couch friends. Hi. Oh.
All right, so let's find these questions. Oh, I gotta go in my archive.
What
Shit.
are the questions? Go on your archive.
I might not be able to find them now. Hold on. Hold your horses.
Horses are being held.
So first question: are you guys gonna come to Australia?
Hell yeah! I'm down. I'm just like I'm broke right now, so I don't have money to like fly. But
GoFundMe.
Yeah, please donate to my GoFundMe, and it'll help a lot. It'll help us go on tour and stuff.
That question is from seaweed_paintbrushes.
Shout out to you, seaweed_paintbrushes. You rule. I promise to come to Australia just for you very soon.
Nice. So, Butte Geek actually asked, advice you would give yourself starting out.
Ooh. Don't take crap from anyone. Don't let anyone tell you no. You know your brand and your vision the best. Do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid of what people think of you. Don't be scared. Just go for it.
Did you know your brand and your vision when you were first starting out, though? Because
I
feel like it takes a while to find its legs.
It's evolved definitely over the years. It started like we've started on Tumblr when Tumblr was really popular in like 2012, 2013. That was, and we were like very popular on Tumblr.
Those were the good years, man.
So it was kind of like that 420 alien pizza waves aesthetic. Like that was like the beach goth. Like my old username was Beach Goth Mel. So like I was very like into like that kind of stuff, and I feel like the brand has kind of evolved into something a little like, I don't want to say darker, but like a little more edgier.
It's more gothy, I would say.
Yeah, like a little like,
it's not goth, but
like I'm big on colors, and I feel like the first like the We Are Free EP was very pink, and then the Stoked On You was very blue, oceany, beachy, and then the Dream and the Deception, the latest album, is very black and red.
Which is funny because that album starts out with such a sweet song.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw me for a loop. Like when I think of black and red, I think of like heavy and, you know.
So it's interesting. So
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No.
Because I really like the song Hollywood a lot.
So there's like a darker message behind it. So the first half of the album is the dream.
Okay.
And the dream represents the black half. Like my album cover, it's like a visual representation of what the album means. So like it has like a black side and a red side, and the black side is the dream, and it starts off as a good dream. Hollywood is the first song on the album. It's the most positive and very like family. I wrote that song about my mom. So
I figured. Yeah.
So it's like a mama, like love, like I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna be a star, and like no fear, nothing, like you know you're gonna do it. And then the dream starts to turn more into a nightmare, and then it ends more on a darker note with Bleach and songs like that are more like mad and like angry and passive. And then the Deception side is more like it's all sad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
You ever think about life before?
I think about life all the time.
It's intense.
Yeah.
For sure.
It really is.
Well, so the advice you would give yourself starting out is just follow what you think is right. Follow your vision.
Yeah.
And it'll find its legs, but don't let anybody give you any shit.
Never. No. Like you know yourself best.
Butte Geek also wants to know, what would you have done differently in the music scene?
A lot of things. But also no regrets. No regrets. Because I don't know. I wouldn't really change anything because I always say, oh, I wish I didn't do this or I wish I didn't do that. But it brought me to where I am today. So no takebacks.
No takebacks.
No, they're all learning lessons.
journey is the
every
best part.
mistake or regret, whatever I may have, is a learning lesson. So I try to take bad things and make something positive out of it and know not to do that again.
That's fucking life, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing that all the time.
Oh yeah.
I almost don't like learning lessons
Mm-hmm.
because then I can't like get away with it again.
Yeah.
Like I'll feel myself doing something wrong or fucking up and I'm like, oh, I gotta actually put in work now because I know that I can't be doing this the way I'm doing it. But it all works out for the best.
Yeah.
I guess the self-awareness is the good thing. But
Yeah.
it's fucking hard.
It's so hard.
Ugh.
Yeah. Real talk.
Let's end this podcast.
Good
Life
night.
is too tough.
Bye.
It's too hard.
I'm gonna go crying.
All right, we got a question from Bundy LBC.
Hey.
He wants to know, what's the best way to ship drugs in the mail?
First of all, shout out LBC. I was born in Long Beach, Long Beach Community Hospital. So shout out LB, Snoop Dogg, Yee. Ship drugs. What was the question? Ship drugs.
What
where?
is the best way to ship drugs in the mail?
I've never done this. Oh God, knock on wood, I've never done this. But I mean,
Pick a carrier.
Okay, so like I've mailed grinders. Like I sold Aquadolls grinders at one point.
Okay.
And I would just say that they were buttons. And you just wrap it in bubble wrap. They can't like look
you can't.
through it.
There's but there's no. It's not illegal to sell a grinder. You could say it's for
No.
tobacco use.
Yeah, or for spices or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You know? But drugs, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what kind. If it smells like.
Here's a story that I can
yeah.
tell
Mhm.
because
Maybe put it in an Easter egg.
I see where you're going with
what's
that.
it called? The little egg. Well, not the Easter.
The confetti stuff.
No. It comes in a
Peeps?
chocolate.
Oh, chocolate bunnies.
What?
What?
No, not the chocolate bunnies. No.
What are you talking about?
It's like a chocolate egg. Kinder egg.
Oh,
a
yeah.
Kinder egg. Put in the Kinder egg. They have ones in America that are
Yeah.
legal. But they have like the Canadian ones are way better because
Yeah.
they're illegal.
So my aunt, she already got caught up for this, so I can say it.
Ooh.
But back in Texas, she was a drug dealer.
Oof.
And I remember playing darts one morning at her house after a big party. We were all smoking weed. It was mostly just smoking. There wasn't much drinking.
Mhm.
And there's a knock on the door. I answer the door. It's a UPS guy. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he goes, oh, I got a package for insert Auntie's
Yeah.
name here. She comes out. He opens his box, and it's just a brick of weed. Just a huge brick of weed.
Aha.
And I'm like, damn, my auntie's the town drug dealer. Sick. It was a small town. But so Bundy, either don't ship drugs is what Melissa's saying.
I would say don't.
I would say don't.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
probably someone closer to you.
I
But
would
also
say-
don't do drugs. Be good. Winky face.
I think, all right, well,
Just in case my mom hears this.
okay. Well, your mom can think I'm a bad guy. And so I'll say,
I'm a good noodle, I promise.
I've done my fair share of drugs. And I feel the same way. No regrets. They've taught me a lot of things. But it's so easy to slip down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And like just throw your life away.
Yeah.
Because it feels good while you're doing it. It feels really good until it doesn't.
Yeah.
And so Bundy, don't ship drugs.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Be careful.
Chief Mojo Rising, my buddy Mike of
Hey,
the band
Mike.
Iris.
Ooh, shout out Iris. Shout out Mike.
He wants to
What's
know nacho cheese or Cool Ranch.
Ooh, I grew up with the Cool Ranch. I grew up with it. But if I have nacho cheese, I won't say no. I mean, it's good. They're both really good, but like
Doritos for the win.
Doritos, yeah. I would always buy the blue Doritos though when I was little.
Me too. They were cooler to buy.
I just like the taste. But then I
No, they
grew
were
to like
good.
the spice. I like the green.
Oh,
one,
yeah,
the
this-
green,
yeah.
the spicy one. Yeah,
Salsa
that's good.
Verde.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh, yeah.
That's the one.
Mhm.
That really is the one.
Make
Do
the
that
tongue
with some
just
pico de gallo.
Ooh, some guac, some salsa,
Jeez.
a little bit of sriracha.
We should just stop this podcast
Yeah,
and go
let's get
eat.
some snacks. Let's go to the grocery store.
I swear we're not high. I promise.
No,
We're acting very stonerish.
No, yeah, this is like munchy talk right now.
All right. Narlord
Hey.
wants to know what made you change your major.
I'm a dropout. I dropped out of college. I went from undeclared to film because of Narlord, because of Alec.
Is that why he asked that?
Yeah, I totally did. So I think I posted on Twitter, like, when I was a college freshman, I was like, someone meet me at this Panera Bread.
Uh-huh.
And Alec came, and that's how I met
For
him.
what? What do you mean? Just you?
I posted on Twitter, like, I'm at Panera Bread. And then he, like, replied. And then I think I messaged him and was like, you should come. And then he came.
Yeah.
And then we ended up, like, being friends. And then he told me about the film department. And then I was a film major, like, all of my college.
So the answer is
film. Yeah.
No, it's Alec.
Oh, Alec. Oh, yeah,
Alec
yeah.
made you change it.
Yeah, it was Alec.
You know what's funny? One thing that I do have to say about Alec is he has just no fear.
Mm-hmm.
He just does stuff.
He doesn't. I remember I saw him, I think last June, it was Day of Music Fullerton, and he was drunk, and he had like a beer, maybe 2 beers in each hand, and he was riding a bike with this big-ass hat on, and he was so gone, and I don't know how he was riding a bike, because he wasn't even holding the handlebars. He just had beers, and he was just like, whoop, 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 going around the city, and I was just like, go Alec.
That's my boy.
Go Alec.
He's got skills.
He does.
All my boys have hidden skills.
I admire
He can
that.
hold 2 beers, ride a bike, be blacked out in a big hat.
Mm-hmm.
Skills.
Yeah. No problem. No worries. All good.
As Napoleon Dynamite says, girls love guys with skills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They also love people that keep tater tots in their pockets.
Fuck yeah, get your own tater tots.
Always and forever.
Break the wrist, walk away.
Yeah.
So there you go, Alec. Rosa.moon.music says, how do you keep yourself motivated on days you feel unmotivated / want to give up?
I write a song about it. I try to. I have a lot of days like that, especially when I'm out alone. Like when I hang out with my friends, like I feel really good, but at times that I am at home, I get really depressed and I feel unmotivated and I feel like I'm going nowhere and I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I feel like really suicidal and bad. I'm like, don't do anything bad. Write a song about it. So then I open my computer, I open GarageBand, I make a little beat, and then I just like loop it, and then I'll just like talk or like make up something on the spot, and then it'll turn into a song, or I try to write a poem about it. But I always try to take my negative and make something positive and creative out of that.
Right.
And it can be either a sad song or a happy song or whatever. It like comes from that. But that happens a lot, and I always try to make the best out of the situation.
So I think that's great advice, excuse me. But as somebody that writes music myself and has bad days myself, there are some bad days where I can't even start to write a song.
Mm-hmm.
And on those days, I'm super lazy, super indulgent, usually try to, I don't know, end up sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
Or drinking.
Sad naps.
Yeah, sad naps.
Yeah.
And I have my own personal way of getting out of those. And I'm sure you have those too.
Mm-hmm.
But like on those days, what gets you to actually get up and write a song?
It takes a low point to get to that.
So is it guilt? Like for me, it's guilt. Like I almost feel like, oh my God, you're being such a shit human right now. Get the fuck up.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's almost like I can't let myself be that bad of a person.
Yeah. I feel like, especially with social media, I feel like that has a lot to do with like, it makes me sad sometimes. Because certain posts like won't engage as much or whatever, and then I'm like, no one cares about me, I'm a flop, and I get all sad. And then like, but obviously like I have other problems too, like personal issues and stuff that I go through. But like, I don't know, I'll have like Degrassi days where I just like sit in bed all day long and like in the dark, and I just watch Degrassi on my phone and I feel like crap. But then I'll be like, I'll get so low and I'm just like, oh man, get a piece of paper, get your notebook, just write. And I try to write, even if I can't even make up words, I'll like try to make a riff on my guitar or something. Like I always try
to
to
get
like do
something done.
Yeah, like something, try to accomplish something out of the darkness.
Right.
Make something good out of it.
Do you do like therapy or anything like that?
I've tried therapy, but it didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I did it when I was 10, and even at 10 years old, I realized, oh, I'm just telling somebody how I feel.
Yeah.
And they're telling me positive ways to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. And
like,
at 10, I was just like, yeah, but it doesn't. I feel the same way about like therapy, how I feel about like addiction, where it's like you can talk all you want about it, but you're never going to stop until you want to stop.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So why do you think therapy didn't work for you? I mean, because I feel the same way. It didn't really work for me.
When I went to therapy, I went about a year and a half ago because I was dealing with a lot of stuff with my band and like losing my boyfriend. Like a bunch of stuff happened in my personal life that affected my career. And I went to therapy and I told this lady my life story and all my problems. And all she had to say was, "Would you like to try Zoloft?" And, there's nothing wrong with antidepressants. And, if that works for certain people. But for me, it was like I had told her all these things and like she would just immediately like, "Oh, well, take this pill." And like there's like, it's not for everyone. Like for certain people, that's great. And like, you need to take your medication. It's very important. I take allergy meds. So like, yeah.
Right.
But like, for me specifically, it just kind of like let me down. But at the same time, I used that therapy session as motivation to want to like be more open with my friends,
right,
and open up more and tell more stories. Because like, I mean, I met Sid like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and before her, like I didn't have many friends at all. I was just when I was with my ex was in my band, and I would only be with him. So I wasn't used to like having friends, and opening up and sharing my feelings wasn't something I knew how to do or felt comfortable doing.
Yeah.
So like it's very new to me being open about stuff and talking about my feelings, because usually I just literally will just journal and keep it to myself. So now I'm trying to be more vocal, and especially on social media too. Like if I'm not feeling well, I'll post about it sometimes, but I don't want to be like dramatic, but I'll be like, I feel this way, but I know a lot of people feel this way too. And I'm going to try to make something positive out of this bad situation. And like,
it's good that you post that stuff on social media. I think one of the things that social media can do for us is show us how humans really are. Like, I follow people that are in Japan.
Yeah, same.
I have no idea. Like, I would have never known what their life was like before that. And now I have this inside look at what they're doing and how they feel, and it shows me that they're closer to me than I originally thought. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, there's an obligation that you may feel as a woman to show what it's really like to exist. And doing that through social media, especially with, a following, feels like giving back, and like, you wish somebody would have done that for you as well. And it's not just limited to women. I think that guys are underrepresented in that field too. Guys are only allowed to be, super tough and super cool.
Like hiding the sensitivity and stuff like that.
And that's why I love having this podcast, because I can tell people that I feel like shit sometimes.
Yeah.